the nation of the Aramaic, as-Suryan, the Syriac, and the Sabian, من كتاب أبي عيسى المغربي قال أمة السريان هي أقدم الأمم. From the book of Abi Isa al-Maghribi, this is a big scholar, he said the Suryan, the Syriac, are the oldest nation, and this was the language of Adam, according to them, which is absolutely false, because the Syriac language exists long after many languages. But this is a proof again the stupidity of the Muslims. All right, let us go with this. And this will be a contradiction for the Muslim saying that the name of Muhammad is written in the Quran, and Allah written in the chair of Muhammad, that there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is the prophet in Arabic. But yet the language of Adam is what is Syriac. And remember the hadith says, if you go in the Quran where Allah Adam he asked Allah for forgiveness, and then Allah he said to him, why I will forgive you? Adam he says to him, forgive me for the sake of Muhammad. He said, why you saw where you saw the name of Muhammad? How you know Muhammad? He said, when I look up, when you created me, I saw his name written in your throne. So how they say the name of Muhammad written in the Arabic in the throne of Allah, and Adam, as you see here, he speak Aramaic, he speak the Syriac language, but he can't read it unless it's the same language. Now we continue. Then he says, speaking about the Sabian, then he says the Aramaic people, mullatahum, their religion is a Sabian. So for him the Aramaic are Sabian, which by the way is true, they are Aramaic. Then and he says, and they took their religion from the children of Adam, Sheth and Idris, and they have a book which they always respect, and they call it Suhafu Sheth. That's false, you know. In it is mentioned a lot of good things of being honest and being brave, etc., etc., and to stay away from the bad things. Now let us go to something serious. And with Sabiina ibadat, and the Sabi'an they have rituals. From it 7 prayer. So there's from them 7 prayer. 5 of them they are exactly as the prayer of the Muslims. والسادسة صلاة الضحى. Like you know, they have 2 extra prayer additional to the Muslim prayer. Additional to the Muslim prayer. According to him, there are 7. 5 of them is exactly the same as the Muslim prayer. 2 additional, they are not identical. وَصَلَاتُهُمْ كَصَلَاتُ الْمُسْلِمِينَ, and they pray exactly the same as the Muslims. And they pray without bowing down in the case of funeral. This is exactly how Muhammad he practiced funeral. Let me scroll the page up so you guys can see it. And then he continue, he says, and they fast for 30 days. And if the crescent moon was missing a day, they make it 29. And they are careful to make their fasting fit of al-fitr by the crescent moon. This is the word fitr exactly as it is written today in the Muslim books. And this is the crescent moon. And they celebrate by the zodiac, you know, the zodiac, like the zodiac, what they call them, the zodiac, like the stars and the planets and Mercury and Mars, you know, like so those this is what their religion is. Their religion is connected with the moon, the stars, the sun, Mercury, Mars, all those planets and stars. And this is exist in the books of the Muslims. Not only that, we can show more. Well, just let us say picking up some reference. This is the book of Ibn Kathir. This is what? The book of Ibn Kathir. Guys, I went to the book of Ibn Kathir in English. Look how big this page. Do you see how big this page? This is the book of Ibn Kathir. Tafsir Ibn Kathir. This is official Islamic website. Tafsir Ibn Kathir. Tafsir Surah Al-Baqarah. The interpretation of the chapter of Al-Baqarah. Let me make it bigger. This is the chapter of Al-Baqarah. Page number 284. Page number 285. Page number 286. All of this, page number 287, is not exist in English. If we go and look for the same chapter, the same verse, we are trying to give interpretation for it. Look what Ibn Kathir in English have nothing. Have 1, 2, 3 lines. Next page, nothing. Nothing. It's gone. Da -da -da -da. It's gone. Ibn Kathir in Arabic is different from Ibn Kathir in English. We have to click more clicks, then we can go and continue and see the Sabians. Okay, let us see what he's saying here. Nothing. Nothing. Where is this page? All this page explained about the Sabians. What happened? It's gone. So what is a Sabian according to the book of Ibn Kathir? He is trying to give you interpretation for the chapter of Al-Baqarah, where Muhammad, he says that those who they are Christians and the Jews and the Sabians, they will go to heaven and they have no fear. All right. Why they are going to go to heaven? Here we read this together, the following. إن الذين آمنوا والذين هادوا والنصارى والصابئين. This is an ayah came down because of the friends of Salman al-Farisi. So Salman al-Farisi have a friends, and he was telling Muhammad about who? About his friends. He is one of them, and those are the Sabian. So Salman al-Farisi was a Sabian, and that's fit perfectly with the story, because according to the Muslims story of Salman al-Farisi, he left from Iran. In his way, or let us say in that city where he used to live, he was a son of a rich man, whatever, blah blah blah, and then he met with a bunch of monks, but those monks are Sabians, and then he became one of them, and he came to Muhammad after that. So in the beginning he said to the Muhammad, what about those people? They will go to heaven. Muhammad, he says no, they will go to hell, according to the story here. Then Muhammad, he changed his mind. He promised that the Sabian, they will go to heaven, which means Salman al-Farisi was able to convince him to be a Sabian. And here we continue. Let us see what he say about a Sabian more. Guys, look at this. This is in the book of Ibn Kathir. وقال عبد الرحمن بن مهدي بن معاوية, etc., etc. Let me point my, so you can see with me what I'm reading. سمعت الحسن ذكر الصابئين فقال هم قوم يعبدون الملائكة. They are people who worship angels. Muslims. In the interpretation of Ibn Kathir, you are telling me that the Sabians worship angels and they will go to heaven? You see what, guys, what I'm talking about? The Christians, because they worship Jesus, they are kuffar. The Sabians who worship the angels, they will go to heaven? And then look what they say down. If we go down, we will see here how the story turned to be funny. In the book of Ibn Kathir, he says, وقال ابن حاتم, and Ibn Hatim, he said, from his father, he said, الصابئون قوم مما يلي العراق. Those are people who live in Iraq, and they believe in the prophets, all of them, and they fast 30 days, and they pray in the direction of Yemen 5 times a day. They pray where? In the direction of Yemen 5 times a day. Question: why they pray in the direction of Yemen? What is in direction of Yemen? There is a temple, it's called the Temple of Al-Makkah. The Temple of Al-Makkah. If you remember in the Quran, there's a verse speaking about a city, it's called the city of Bakka. The city of what? Bakka. But what is Bakka? Chapter 3, verse number 96, it says, إن أول بيت وضع للناس الذي ببكة. The first house was built for mankind is the house in Bakka. You ask any Muslim what the name of the city where the Kaaba is, he will say to you, Mecca. Okay, so what is Bakka? He will say to you, it's the same. It is not the same. First of all, Mecca is Makkah, and Bakka is Makkah. You remember when the Muslim, they say to us that the Quran sent down to Muhammad in 7 letters? You remember what 7 letters mean? Support is 7 dialect. 7 dialect. The letter Ka for the people of Yemen at that time, they say it Qa. So Mecca is Makkah. Makkah is the real temple, and that was the temple of the moon god. Let me see if I can find you in English the temple of Makkah, of the Al-Makkah, while I'm talking to you about it. This is a temple of the moon god. Here we go. We found it. This is an article speaking about the temple of Al-Makkah. And you will not believe it what it says. It says there that this is an ancient Sabian city. Let us show you. Guys, read with me, please. This is a new article. This is February 21st. I hope the text is clear. Let me know, please, if the text is small or something.